The Chicago Bulls are one of the last three undefeated teams left in basketball. What is this league that we love? A couple weeks ago, before the season started, I made a video about the one thing slash one player on the Chicago Bulls that I was the most excited for. Of course, that was Modest Buzelis. And my expectation going into the season was fun, but not so good NBA team. So far through the first 5 games, we've been good. And I don't know how to balance the feelings and emotions attached to being 5-0 right now, right? The people that are in the numbers will let you know that the opposing teams are shooting historically bad against the Chicago Bulls. And maybe just them, the teams that we go against shooting league average, that 5-0 start is not nearly 5-0. That real-time regression is coming. But is it really just that simple? Like, are the reason that the Bulls are 5-0 just because the opposing teams can't shoot against them right now? Or is there something else happening? Is there a combination of the two things? I don't know. I want to say this. The last 25 games the Bulls have played, again, dating back to last season, the Bulls are 20-5. 20-5 is something we say about the OKC Thunder, about the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Denver Nuggets, not the Bulls. Archunas Karnišovas is a guy who I've been so damn critical of over the last 4 years that he accidentally finds something. Or was it even an accident to start off with? Was his whole plan was to get the ragtime group of misfits to run the NBA? One of the questions I had going into the season on the Kenny Beecham podcast, it's not even called that no more, on Small Ball with Kenny Beecham, when I did an episode where I was talking about one question I had about all 30 teams in the NBA going into the season, the question I had about the Bulls was, will any of your reclamation projects work? The way the Bulls have ran their organization over the last couple seasons, all of the trades they've made are getting pieces that have showed that they can be okay basketball players, but haven't been working out at the previous stop. Kevin Huerter was a part of a team that went to the conference finals with the Atlanta Hawks. He got to the Sacramento Kings. They were lighting the beam. It was great. And then the second year of that, it wasn't good. Jalen Smith was a former top 10 pick that had been on a couple different teams. Josh Giddey was a young, promising player that before the season where OKC was the one seed made to the postseason a few years ago, he was on every 25 under 25 list, but he got to the postseason and he couldn't play. Isaac Okoro was the top, 5? Was he number 5 in that draft? Number 5, number 6 in that year's draft class, and he was traded away for a role player. So the entire identity of the Bulls from the front office perspective is to get guys that we've seen be good or have still potential to be good, throw them on the same team, and see what happens. And again, through 5 games, it's kind of been working good. But there's the dilemma of it all, because I've watched the scrimmages of Cam Boozer. I watched the scrimmages of Darren Peterson. I watched the scrimmages of all the top end guys who just look like automatic superstars in basketball one day, right? And this is the year where we might be good. Now, I was listening to No Dunks, and Trey Kirby had a stat that said that he went through all of the teams that started off 4-0. I'm sure that number has changed now that the Bulls are 5-0. And a few teams that started off 4-0 in recent history didn't make the postseason, right? So that's not out of the realm of possibility for the Chicago Bulls. And maybe we show that there's something here, but we still keep a lottery pick. I don't know. And one of those teams, funny enough, ended up being a Vucevic team from the Orlando Magic, where they started off 4-0 and still missed the postseason. They won 21 games. So There is a scenario where this is lightning in the bottle, right scenario where the Orlando Magic still haven't figured it out. The Atlanta Hawks still haven't figured it out. The Detroit Pistons only had one ball handler. The Sacramento Kings are the Sacramento Kings. And then the Knicks are still dealing with their own troubles of trying to figure out what the hell they're doing under Mike Brown. So there's a world where the Bulls there's a 0.001% chance they start off 5-0 and they did it. Like that's a possibility, right? But it's also a part of me that sees like what the hell Billy Donovan is trying to incorporate. I've never maybe I have, now that I think about it. I've talked about the Bulls so much in my life that maybe it's squeaked out before. But from my understanding, off the top of my head, I don't think I've ever been a guy that's disliked Billy Donovan. I've always disliked some people on the roster. I've disliked the people that are running the show. But Billy Donovan is a Hall of Fame coach for a reason. Like, I understand that most of his success have come in college realm when he won championships with Florida. But if you think about his NBA tenure, he has been able to get the most talent out of a lot of different rosters. A team that has 0.2% chance to make the postseason, Billy Donovan said, we're going to run a triple point guard lineup between Shea, Chris Paul, and Dennis Schroeder, and not just make the postseason. We're going to be in the 4-5 matchup. Like, Billy Donovan has been able to raise the ceiling on a couple different teams. Maybe that's what's happening right now. Because though the opposing teams are not shooting well from three behind them, the Bulls are dead last in giving up threes. Actually, let me bring up some statistics about it all because it has been a super fascinating go right now. All right, we'll start off here. That goes through the offensive and defensive ratings and everything of every NBA team, filtering out garbage time. The Bulls right now are top 10 in offense and top 10 in defense, which in other cases, being top 10 on both means you're a contender. Obviously, 5 game sample size. All these numbers are going to shift throughout the course of it all. But we're the sixth ranked defense and the fourth ranked offense right now. And if we continue this, we are playing like a team that is a 62 win team. Holy shit. Let's say it again. The Bulls are playing basketball as if they're a 62 win team. There's also a team out there playing like they're a 70 win team, but that's Wembanyama's great defense and all. The Dallas Mavericks 30th and the defense is good. So here are the shots that the Bulls are giving up. The last 2 seasons, as you can see, it has been a point where Billy Donovan has wanted opposing teams to not shoot threes. Right now, teams are only shooting 26% of their shots from three against the Bulls. That's crazy. The league average is 38 and a half. Let me get that over. The league average is 38 and a half. So, Bulls are forcing teams to shoot 8%. I guess this is the different number. I don't know why it would be a different number. Shooting 8% less threes per game. And not only are they bottom in the amount of threes they're giving up, they're bottom when it comes to percentage of threes that those teams are making. Again, league average is about 36%. There's 6% difference between what players are shooting against the Bulls versus what they're shooting against another NBA team. And then it's like, what percentage of that is luck and what percentage of that is good defense? The reality is, if I had to put it into percentages, I would say 80% of that is luck and 20% of that is schematic. I mean, again, I've watched every single possession of all these games. Some of these games, we're just leaving a certain player wide open from three, and he just so happened to miss it. Hell, last night when they went against the New York Knicks, we were up by 23 points, and part of the reason why the Knicks were able to bring that game back is because Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby got so many corner open three-pointer shots, and they made them, right? So there's probably like 80-20, 75-25 as the number versus luck versus schematics. And again, in this video, I'm playing like devil's advocate to myself because I'm going to say that I've loved watching this team. Even dating back to last season, I thought that, again, last year's was lightning in the bottle, right? So that's why this season I came into it like, yeah, we're going to be bad. We were just really good at the end of the last season for whatever reason. Josh Giddey turned into Superman. This is the thing that scares me the most. If you're the most optimistic Bulls fan, and hey, not only are we good, we're going to be a top 6 seed in the Eastern Conference, which I can't say is impossible, but I'm going to say unlikely, is this stat called the location effective field goal percentage. If this team allowed the league average field goal from each location, what would their opponent's effective field goal percentage be? Basically, based on your shot diet, if the teams you were going against were shooting averagely, how good would you be? The Bulls are 29th. The Bulls are 29th. That's not good, if I had to remind you. That's not good. Now, 29th is by like 2 percentages, right? So maybe I'm being a little bit dramatic, but the difference between 29th and, 15th is literally 2%, right? It's literally 2%. So maybe that's not even, we don't even care about that no more. I changed my mind, damn it. It don't matter. We here. The opposite side of that, on the offensive side, we're number 1 in that same exact statistic by a percentage between us and the number 2 spot. So it's just interesting. I mean, there's so many players that are currently on our roster that are having career years, right? Josh Giddey has been phenomenal. I know that, like, he's one of those players that there are times where you watch and you would look at the box score and say, oh, he ended up with 18, 7, and 7. It didn't feel like his impact was that positive. And then there's other times you watch, like last night against the New York Knicks, you're like, oh, shit, he is the best player on the entire court. I don't think there's ever going to, well, maybe not ever, but like, sometimes the advanced stats, on and off numbers, or yada, 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 don't really tell the full story of Josh Giddey. And I feel like that might be the case earlier in the season. There was times where, especially during the preseason, maybe the first couple games of the year, that the Bulls start off the game, they were down 16-6, and then Josh Giddey went to the bench and Ayo Dosunmu came into the game, and then the Bulls tied the game up while Josh Giddey was on the bench. Also, Ayo Dosunmu was another one of those advanced stats hate. Like, the advanced stats hate Josh Giddey. Ayo Dosunmu. He's like one of the worst players in the entire league according to his advanced stats. And that's why I always tell people you can't just be a stats-oriented person. You got to watch these games because Ayo Dosunmu has hit at like a clutch shot in every fucking game we've had this season. At least one, some games, 3 clutch shots in a single fourth quarter. So it won't tell the full story of Ayo Dosunmu as a player, but I would say he's having a career year. Josh Giddey is having a career year. Matas Buzelis, obviously, with him only being in year number 2. Kevin Huerter looks like the player that we saw a few years back, but not only just that, Kevin Huerter has sneakily been a really good defensive player. His hands are really active when people are trying trying to get blown by him, and he's getting his hands in a cookie jar. Trey Jones was kind of like this misfit player of a guard that can't shoot, but somehow when the ball is in his hands, good things happen time and time again. Patrick Williams, who we gave up hope on, looks like a real ball player. Like, everybody's looking good, and that's unless your name is Isaac Okoro. That's got to be scary. Vucevic continues to look good. That's got to be scary because there's had to be some type of regression. 7 out of the 8 players in your rotation can't all have career years. It's unprecedented. It just doesn't happen. And we don't even have Kobe White. We don't have Kobe White, who, if you ask majority of people going into the season, even though Josh Giddey ended very well, most people tell you that Kobe White is the best player on the Chicago Bulls. He has not played a single second just yet, and I don't even know when he's supposed to come back. And guess what? They're playing so well. I ain't even thought to Google it. Damn it! I didn't even thought about him being on that bench right now. So things are going well. And again, kind of toying with the emotions of having a good team without a good team. Because I feel like that's the best way to describe the Chicago Bulls. They're a good team that is not constructed to be a good team. Even after we traded Zach LaVine away during February's trade deadline, Arturas Karnisovas was asking Bulls fans to give him a couple years. He didn't envision his team being 5-0. Right? This team is not built to be good. But if you end up being good while not being built to be good, then I think you're lowering the overall ceiling of your franchise. Let me explain that. If the Bulls were winning enough to be a real playoff team, we're talking like top 6, there still is not a bunch of avenues to go get a star player, which is what you need to really win in this league. It is so cool that the power of friendship has been so great to be 5-0. And hell, I hope it continues to go to some extent of me. But I do recognize that unless Josh Giddey turns into like a real superstar, or maybe Modest Buzelis is going to be that guy, finding a superstar is hard to do if you don't have a top pick. You obviously can hit. I mean, Giannis was not a lottery pick. Jokic was a second rounder. Like, we can go on about success stories, but for every success story, there is 1,000 guys that were drafted 16th that didn't end up being Alperen Sengun. You know what I mean? And it's not as like this Chicago Bulls team has done such a great job with drafting in those back spots that you feel like, oh yeah, if we have the 16th pick, that's fine. We got lucky with Modest Buzelis. He was the projected a top 3 pick like 3 months before the draft started. He somehow fell to 11. Patrick Williams was drafted 4 with Halliburton, Maxey, and hella people on the board. I would assume it was a good pick. That's Chicago's very own. We got love for that. But this front office has not drafting well enough for me to think that, yeah, we'll be able to put together good. I mean, Dalen Terry, shout out to my boy DT. He was drafted right outside the lottery. He got 8 total minutes on the season. 8. This many. This one hand, 2 hands. That's how many minutes he's played. But again, playing devil's advocate to my devil's advocate, the Bulls have hella cap space this year. And I think about the players that are currently going to be a free agent for us, like a Kevin Huerter or Zach Collins, who has yet to play this regular season, Jalen Smith. A lot of those guys I feel like we can retain without bumping too much into that cap space. So maybe there's a world where most of this team is back next season, and the way we get better is using cap space to trade or using cap space to sign a star player. I don't know. What I will say is that I'm having so much fun watching this team, and I'm fully prepared for the sky to fall. I'm fully prepared to go through a stretch where the Bulls lose 5 straight games. And you know what I'm saying? I'm prepared for it. But I don't know, man. This thing's been fun. It's a lovable group of guys. The social media team, I know y'all don't care because you're not a Bulls fan. The social media team has been killing it, giving us these videos of locker room speeches, just like the Chicago Bears, bear down. And it's been so fun to see a team with 0 expectations go against a team, against like the Knicks, who have championship aspirations, and be like, you in Chicago, baby, this is our city. Now we go against them again tomorrow, and they may spank that ass, but whatever. You know? The entire first couple weeks of the season is literally all about overreacting anyway, right? If the Bulls were not, if this same exact team was existing and doing this, not named Chicago Bulls, I'd probably be more optimistic because it's not my team. There's just a little piece of me that just recognized that Chicago sports are always shit since 1999. So like, I'm ready for the sky to fall. And if it does, cool. If it doesn't, cool. I don't know.